Have you ever felt completely stuck, like you're reaching for something amazing but just can't quite get it? You try harder, you pull with all your might, but your hand is just trapped. This feeling reminds me of a classic old story, one of Aesop's fables, about a boy, a pitcher, and a handful of delicious nuts. Let's dive into it because I think its lesson is more relevant today than ever before. Imagine a young boy, maybe 7 or 8 years old, with bright, curious eyes. One sunny afternoon, his mother brings out a beautiful ceramic pitcher. It's not just any pitcher. This one is filled to the brim with filberts, or hazelnuts as we know them. The boy's eyes light up. He loves filberts. That crunchy, slightly sweet taste is his absolute favorite treat. His mother, seeing his excitement, smiles and says, "You can have some, my dear. Go on, take a few." Permission granted. This is the moment he's been waiting for. He eagerly walks over to the tall pitcher, which sits on a low wooden table. The opening is just wide enough for his small hand to slip inside. He plunges his hand deep into the cool, smooth nuts, feeling them tumble around his fingers. He doesn't just want a few. He wants a lot. Why settle for a small snack when you can have a feast? So he closes his hand around the biggest fistful he can possibly manage. He grabs so many that his knuckles are white and nuts are wedged between every finger. Now for the triumphant part, pulling his treasure out. He pulls his hand up, but it won't budge. It's stuck. The neck of the pitcher is too narrow for his bulging fist to pass through. He pulls again, harder this time, gritting his teeth. Nothing. He wiggles his arm, twists his wrist, and even tries to shake the pitcher, but his hand is firmly trapped. His initial excitement quickly turns into frustration. He can feel the prize right there in his palm, yet it's completely out of reach. He stands there, a comical yet sad sight. His arm is stuck in a pitcher, his face is getting red, and the dream of munching on those filberts is fading fast. He's unwilling to let go of even a single nut. He chose them, they're his. To let any of them go feels like admitting defeat. But the more he holds on, the more stuck he becomes. The frustration bubbles over, and soon, big, salty tears start to roll down his cheeks. He begins to cry, not just because he's stuck, but because he's so disappointed. The thing he wanted most is now the very thing causing his distress. His mother, who had been watching from a distance, walks over to him. She doesn't scold him or laugh. She kneels down, her voice calm and gentle. "My boy," she says, "what's the matter?" Through his sobs, he explains that he can't get his hand out. She looks at his trapped fist inside the pitcher and understands immediately. She doesn't try to pull his hand out for him. Instead, she offers him a simple piece of wisdom. "Be satisfied with half the nuts you have taken," she says softly, "and you will easily get your hand out. Then, perhaps you may have some more filberts some other time." The boy stops crying and thinks about what she said. Let go of half? But he wanted them all. It seems counterintuitive. To get what he wants, he has to give some of it up. Hesitantly, he relaxes his grip. He lets a few nuts drop from his fist, then a few more. His fist becomes smaller. He tries to pull his hand out again, and this time it slides out effortlessly. He looks at the handful of filberts he's left with. It's not the mountain he first grabbed, but it's still a good amount. And more importantly, he's free. He's no longer stuck. He looks at his mother, a look of understanding on his face. He pops a filbert into his mouth and smiles. He got his treat, and he learned something far more valuable in the process. The moral of the story is simple and direct. Do not attempt too much at once. But let's unpack that, because it applies to so much more than just nuts in a jar. This fable is a brilliant metaphor for our own lives, for our ambitions, our goals, and our desires. How often do we get stuck because we're trying to grab everything all at once? Think about your career goals. You want the promotion, the big salary, the corner office, the perfect work-life balance, and you want it all right now. You take on too many projects, work endless hours, and try to be a superstar in every single area. What happens? You burn out. You get overwhelmed. Your performance in all areas starts to suffer. Your hand is stuck in the pitcher. You're so focused on grabbing the perfect career in one go that you end up stressed, unhappy, and not actually moving forward. What if, like the boy, you were willing to let go of a few nuts? Maybe you focus on mastering one key project instead of 5. Maybe you accept a role that's a stepping stone, not the final destination. By being satisfied with half, with making steady, manageable progress, you can actually pull your hand out and move forward, eventually getting more nuts later. This applies to learning a new skill too. Let's say you want to learn to play the guitar. You buy the guitar, the amp, the books, and you declare you're going to practice 3 hours every single day and be playing complex solos in a month. You grab a giant fistful of ambition. But after a week of sore fingers and slow progress, you get discouraged. It's too hard. You're not getting it fast enough. Your hand is stuck. You feel like a failure, and you might even quit. The mother's advice? Be satisfied with half. What if you just committed to 20 minutes a day, just learning one new chord a week? By letting go of the overwhelming initial goal, you make it achievable. You get your hand out of the pitcher, you start making progress, and you actually enjoy the process. Over time, those small daily practices add up to something incredible. It even works with our personal finances. We see people with fancy cars and big houses, and we want it all immediately. We might take on too much debt, chasing a lifestyle we can't afford. We grab that giant fistful of material possessions, and soon our hand is stuck in the pitcher of financial stress. We're trapped by payments, interest, and the constant worry of not having enough. The wise advice? Be satisfied with half. Live within your means. Save a little at a time. Let go of the need to have everything right now. This allows you to build real, sustainable wealth and freedom over time. You get your hand out of the jar and can then choose to have more nuts later, on your own terms. The core of this lesson is about the paradox of letting go. Sometimes to get what we ultimately want, we have to release our tight grip on wanting it all right now. Greed and impatience are the things that keep us stuck. The boy's problem wasn't the pitcher or the nuts. It was his own fist, clenched too tightly around too much. Our problem is often the same. Our own mindset, our own unrealistic expectations, our own unwillingness to be patient. The mother's words are key. Then perhaps you may have some more filberts some other time. This isn't about giving up on your big dreams. It's the opposite. It's a strategy for achieving them. It's about understanding that life is a marathon, not a sprint. By taking a smaller, manageable handful now, you ensure you can come back for more later. You build momentum. You build confidence. You avoid the burnout and disappointment that comes from trying to do too much too soon. So the next time you feel stuck, overwhelmed, and frustrated, ask yourself, is my hand stuck in a pitcher? Am I trying to grab too much at once? What nuts can I let go of right now, not to give up, but to give free? To move forward? Whether it's in your work, your hobbies, your relationships, or your personal growth, remember the boy and the filberts. Be satisfied with half. Take a deep breath, release your grip, and pull your hand out. You'll be amazed at how much faster you can move forward when you're not trying to carry everything at once. The rest of the nuts will be there for you when you're ready. Thanks for watching and taking the time to think about this with me. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments what pitcher you might be stuck in. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that make us think. See you next time.